was my Jack Bauer. I mean, he was my eyes and ears. I'd use all of his scouting reports and all of his information. It was a huge help for me.
All right, welcome everybody. I got about a 19-clip breakdown on last night's Boston-Cleveland Game 1 in the Eastern Conference semifinals in Boston. It was a blowout victory for Boston, 120-95. We're just going to take some of the better clips that I think that I could show players and coaches just to try to go through. Before we start up, if you don't mind, share this on social media. I want to try to get as many people in these sessions as possible. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to work. My first clip, Donovan Mitchell step up, pick and roll on the left side, pulls up for three in the left wing. All right, let's take a look at it. Mitchell was one of the few bright spots for Cleveland last night, 33 points. In this situation, a lot of times you see, especially in the NBA, these step-ups are being set further and further out. Usually it's to set up this mid-range shot from the elbow. Now as the game matures and evolves, now it's going more to the 3-point. So they stretch him out. Holiday gets hit by the Mobley screen. Now it's a one-on-one with Horford and Mitchell. Horford's going to back up a little bit, give him enough space for a three-point shot. It's really important to develop your guards to be able to not only shoot threes on the move, on the catch, but now off the dribble. Setting your man up, hitting him on that screen, and then getting that big to back up to be able to clear space to pull up the three. Difficult shot, but Mitchell's one of the best tough shot makers in the league. All right, next clip. You got Jaylen Brown pulling up out of the corner and then straight line drive into the basket on the left side of the floor. Let's take a look at it. The toughest part about these 5-out offenses to defend is everything's stretched out. All right, on the catch itself, everything's stretched out in the perimeter. No one really in the paint to open up these drives to the basket and making it tough for the weak side to pull over. Here, Brown, as he pulls up out of the corner, that defender is sort of moving with him. And, you always want to use a defender's lack of balance against them. Kobe used to always tell me that daily on workouts and film sessions, that he always wants to get that defender moving in any type of direction and then attack. As Brown moves up on the catch, all right, now you got all this baseline open up because now he's pulling up out of the corner. On the drive, all right, weak side, Donovan Mitchell has to stay connected to Holiday. All right, probably should help over, pull over on the help and then have someone else rotate out to Holiday on the catch. But in this situation, that lane's all open. All he has to do is catch, straight line drive, get that defender on his hip, and then off to the races to the rim. All right, next clip. You got Derek White slipping out of this guard-to-guard pick and roll. All right, dribble handoff with Brown, who then drives to the rim, finishing with the left hand. Brown not known for his left-handed finishes, but again, just spreading the defense out. All right, these guard-to-guard slip-outs are really tough to defend, especially when White could turn the corner and drive. Then someone's got to help up, and then he could either hit Cornette out of the dunker. If they rotate down, you got Hauser in the corner. Here, just a dribble handoff. Brown catches it and then drives it. Nobody in the weak side. Mobley should have got over to try to get in front of him. Brown, again, not known for his left-hand finishing, but shooting 62% at the rim, which is a little bit above average. And he's a very good finisher, especially when he gets in there. Mostly on dunks, but this is a great dribble handoff, being aggressive, getting to the basket, and finishing with that left hand. Any player, I don't care what level, you have to work on your weak hand. Being able to finish with both hands just makes you that much more deadly at the rim. Next clip, one of the best clips of the night. All right, you got Pritchard pick and roll, nothing there. Hits Holiday up top. Holiday and Cornette with the mid pick and roll. Cornette catches on the short roll and then hits Tatum on the cut. All right, let's take a look at it. The short roll is becoming one of the more popular sets and popular situations that players get into at any level. I think you're big. If they're going to put two on the ball, and the ball handler has to be able to now catch a little earlier to be able to either hit that elbow jump shot a little bit deeper, be able to catch and drive it for a finish, floater in the paint, or just like he did here, when someone else rotates up on the help, being able to hit someone. All right, so now you got the Holiday and Cornette screen and roll. Cleveland's going to put two on the ball to try to get the ball out of Holiday's hands. Holiday now hits Cornette in the short roll. So this is what I'm talking about. Jump shot on the balance, being able to catch it, drive it, and finish at the rim, shoot that floater, or if that next defender helps up, being able to make a play for somebody else. Now, if you have a really good shooter, if this is like Hauser or someone like that, he could stay spaced, and on the catch, you can go over the head shot here. But Tatum, just being that great of a finisher, makes the read where if his man rotates up, he just doesn't stand there. He cuts to the rim and becomes a real threat. Kornet catches it, they rotate up, he hits Tatum, finish at the rim. All right, next clip. You got Donovan Mitchell with that swap pick and roll with Morris. He's going to draw 2 defenders, and then Morris is going to get into his vision, pull up for 3. Now, Morris has been around a long time, has been a pretty good perimeter player throughout his career, with various teams. Here, with Mitchell averaging 26 a game, but being able to make reads, when they put 2 defenders on the ball. Here, he draws 2. Now, Morris is going to plant on that pick and roll, right? But as Mitchell starts getting deeper in that drive, he's going to pull over because you got to get in his vision. When he puts 2 on the ball and they got active hands like Kornet does, now Morris gets in his vision, also spreads the defense out. You got Pritchard now is going to rotate out and a long closeout. Morris could shoot the 3, all right, or he could swing to the other side where you have Garland now spaced out. So here on the catch, I know it sort of gets out of the camera view here, but on that catch, on that long rotation, you could do a swing here to spread the defense out. You always want to be able to penetrate the defense, draw 2, and make a kick to somebody else to open up more opportunity. Next clip, you got Darius Garland going to change speed, change direction, and get to the rim. Look, obviously Cleveland's having a hard time scoring after that first quarter. And being able to score in transition before the defense sets up. But what I really like here is that change, not only change of direction, but that change of speed. You got to be able to play with 2 speeds. You want to be an elite guard at any level. You got to be able to change speeds and change direction. Here in transition, before the defense can really set up, he goes left to right. Watch that change of speed. All right, once he makes his move, changes speeds, gets in the paint. All right, now Garland only finishes at 50% at the rim. You got to be closer to a 60 to 65% rim finisher, with any type of perimeter player that's going to be at the rim. You got to be a high-end finisher, especially in playoff games like this. All right, next clip, one of the better ones of the night. Just great ball movement by Boston. You got White to Tatum, mid pick and roll. All right, going to hit Horford. They put 2 on the ball, swings to Brown, drive and kick again, swing from Tatum. All right, to Holiday. That ball's got to move. It's good to isolate and be able to score and have mismatches, but be able to stretch defenders out. I don't care what type of opponent that you have, being able to just keep them moving. All right, here the ball doesn't stop. You got Tatum, pick and roll, Horford on the catch. All right, 2 on the ball. Instead of a tough finish over 2 defenders, all right, he sees Brown in the corner. Swings to Brown, long rotation because they're all spread out. Now they put 2 on the ball. All right, White's open, swing. Nope, drive and kick, and then swing again for the Holiday 3. That's great basketball. That's a championship level play. Next clip, drag, screen, and roll. All right, you got Garland and Mobley. Nobody gets in front. When you're a guard, all right, it's good to be pass first, but if there's no one in front of you on pick and roll, especially in these drag screens in transition, and no one's really in front, you got to be able to just make a play. Here, Tatum needs to get in front, but they're worried about the Mobley lob. Maybe Holiday pulls over, but you got Mitchell on him. So this is where Cleveland could take advantage of this. They got to play the lob, so no one's gonna put 2 on the ball with him, especially them stretching the defense out. All right, so you get the screen and roll here. He slips out to the rim. Tatum's got to be able to keep him in front. He can't get it behind because that's going to be a lob. That gives Garland the ability to change speeds and get to the rim and finish. All right, Derek White, screen and roll with Kornet. He's going to back the defense up, shoot the floater. All right, White's shooting that floater, making it at a 44% clip. Not bad for floaters. Usually floater shooters are high 30s, low 40s. 44% isn't bad. But on this, all right, he's got the screen and roll with Kornet. Thompson's going to back up, not really make a play in the ball. Worried about the Kornet roll, but they've got defenders pulled over on the weak side. So White's going to drive the defense, drive the big. Understands that he's got to play both. He's got to get in front, but also worry about Kornet. So now he just keeps backing him up, shoots that floater right outside the paint. That's a tough area for a defender to get over because he's worried about the roller. All right, shooting that floater right here is a perfect when you're going on mids to right outside that paint area, because that's a tough rotation for that big to make. Because if he rotates all the way up, he could throw that lob to Cornet. If they pull over here, you got Tatum in the corner. So just attacking defenders and getting to his spots. All right, making that floater. It's a good shot. All right, next clip. Donovan Mitchell just changing speeds, in and out, finish at the right. 60% finisher at the rim, pretty good. Just watch that setup, though. All right, that in and out, but getting that defender to move. Like I said, Kobe was always about moving that defender side to side, back, forth, up, down. Here he does a great job setting that in and out. Gets White to bite on it, opens up that lane, and again, everything's spread out, so there's really no help at the dunker spot to be able to help and rotate up to help at the rim. All right, pick up high off the glass. Remember to see that high finish off the glass? Not low and hard. That high and soft above the square right there. That's a tough finish. All right, great drive. All right, next clip. You got handoff to Donovan Mitchell, who's just going to drive it right into Cornet's body for the finish. Remember I told you, 60%. But just watch this. All right, everything's spread out on that left side. There's really no one really to stop and get in front of him here. All right, if White rotates off, he could get that dribble kick to Strus. But on the drive, Cornet comes up. Watch him use his body first. And then clear. Always got to try to initiate contact, especially if there's help at the rim. All right, Cornet's going to go straight up in his verticality. Arms are down a little bit. But he uses that body to clear him out. And that's what you got to be able to do. If he tries to finish that regular, that could probably going to be a block, for Cornet. But because now he initiates contact with his shoulder and, on his left side of his body, Cornet now backs up. He has that space to be able to put that ball right off the backboard. Again, another high finish off the glass above the square. All right, you got to be comfortable with finishing above the square. Next clip, you got low pick and roll with Holiday and Tatum. They switch. All right, Horford goes to work, just rips through baseline, uses that shoulder, and for the finish. Let's take a look at it. This is where, I know we don't post up enough as much as we used to, but being able to take advantage of switching. If defenders want to switch, especially when you get perimeter players on big post players, go to them right away. Holiday makes the pass, spaces out, all right? And now Horford just goes to work. Rips through, keeps that left foot as a pivot, rips through to the baseline, uses that shoulder to clear space, all right, clears out a little more, and then finish at the rim. All right, next clip. You got that, perimeter pick and roll. Pritchard's going to pop out, just make that extra pass to Horford. Horford shooting 42% from three. All right, let's take a look. This is the toughest thing when you have a point guard setting the screen on a wing player. It's a tough action to guard. All right, so now on the pick and pop, he'll slip out. They put two in the ball. So now on the slip out, they put two in the ball. They're in a long rotation. When Pritchard now catches, all right, that defender is forced to leave Horford open in the corner. This is why slipping out and stretching the defense is important. They put two in the ball. He spaces. All right, if he stays, he's got a three-point shot, which Pritchard could knock that down as well. Now they got a rotation here. They're going to both rotate to the ball, and instead of taking a tough contested shot, he just passes to Horford, who's shooting 46% from three in that right corner. So just forcing long rotations instead of taking tough shots, making extra passes for open shots. You got to be able to stretch defenses out. You got to be able to make extra passes, and you got to be able to make shots. All right, here, next clip, just another ball movement clip. You got that same pick and pop. Pritchard catches. All right, ball doesn't stick. Hits to Holiday. Hits Cornet coming out of the dunker. Again, extra passes. That's what we're looking for here, extra passes. And watch how they stretch the defense out. All right, so now they get that pick and pop. All right, they get that pick and pop here. Drives it. And now on the drive here, they're going to now... Mobley's going to get over, which now Cornet, when that baseline drive happens, those dunker cuts goes right to the front of the rim. He gets that here, all right, but he sees two. All right, he's got White in that right corner, but now he stretches out. All right, Brown for three. All right, next clip. We get that Mobley catch in the paint floater. All right, that's a part of Mobley's game that has to get better. only shooting 34.5% on that floater. You got to be able to get to that 42, 45% from that. It's such an important shot for those short rolls. All right, here Garland's just going to waste no time. Right from the pass from Mitchell, catches it and drives right away. All right, Mobley's going to set the screen here on Holiday. They're going to put 2 on the ball. That pocket pass right there. That floater, that has to be an automatic shot for those bigs in the short roll. Now, Boston rotates over, so here's the read on that as well. Remember we talked about on the catch, you got to be able to shoot it, drive it, and if they rotate out of the corner, out of the dunker, be able to make a play for somebody else. So now they collapse. They get 3 to the ball. Boston does a great job here guarding it. It's a tough shot, but you also got Strus in the corner. So that's just sort of your reads here. But, great job drawing 2, paint, floater. But again, that's a shot that Mobley's got to get better throughout his career. A few more clips here, so bear with me. All right, you got a pick and roll. You got mid pick and roll with Mitchell and Mobley. Nothing there. They're gonna swing to Mobley, and then rip through. So let's take a look at it. All right, Mobley does a good job here. On the screen, just sort of lingering around. Ball's here to Levert. All right, he stays around and pops back up. Now Cornet, I'm a big fan of getting up on one side of the offensive player defensively. I think if you just play square, you open yourself up to get driven both ways. All right, both directions. Now White's there, sort of, camping out to sort of shrink the floor here. So that lefty drives out of commission. So if I was here, I would probably just play up and give him a little bit more pressure. Mobley's not a bad shooter in the mid-range. On the catch, he rips through, all right, makes contact, and then gets to the basket. As a big, being able to catch on these little rolls here, and if you roll and not get the ball right away, keep your eyes on the ball because you don't know if they're going to swing. Because they could swing to Mobley. You could dribble handoff with Strus here. You could pick and roll with Strus. But so sort of stay in here instead of staying, just not going under the basket every time. Here he flashes. Cornet plays up. He doesn't waste any time. Left foot pivot and just rips through to the man and gets to the rim. All right, next clip. Mobley does a good job here. They have to switch White on Mobley. All right. He posts up White instead of just, flaring out to the perimeter and then makes him pay for it. I'm a big believer in posting up switches. If they don't switch, I'm not a big fan of just throwing it inside to bigs all day. I think that part of basketball is a little bit outdated if you just keep going to the post every time. But if they switch every time, then I'm a big fan of it. Here on the screen, Boston switches. All right, he just ducks Mobley. Mobley just ducks White right there. That's how you got to do it as a big. If a smaller player switches on you, you got to get him on your back and post him up. Good post position here. He faces him up, lifts him up and under, finish at the rim. Next clip. You get the drive, draw a crowd, Tatum fake, one dribble, pull up jump shot in the mid range. All right, let's take a look. Got to be able to use those fakes. You got to be able to plant your feet quick, and you have to make quick decisions. All right, White does a good job on the drive. All right, drawing 3 defenders to the ball. He kicks out to Tatum. All right, so now Mitchell has a decision to make. Do you stay with Pritchard, or you go to, you have to rotate over to one of the best players, one of the best scorers in the game. So Mitchell's going to rotate long. All right, Tatum knows it's going to be a long closeout. He's going to run him off the line. So he could either fake him, sidestep, fake him 3. You could hit Pritchard in the corner because he's open. They're going to have to long rotate out to him. So good feet by Tatum here. Good use of a shot fake. All right, Mitchell just goes by him. He's got that one dribble and the hop into a jump shot. I'm usually a fan of going just right, left, going left. But again, offensive players got to understand on the long closeouts, these guys aren't going to close out short. All right, they're going to open themselves up to fake and run by for 3, run into him to foul him in the 3, or run by him and then drive it and open up other opportunities to drive and score, drive and kick, and make other plays. All right, great use of a shot fake, good mid-range pull-up. All right, last clip, Drew Holiday, one of the best post-up guards in the league. Being able to back Garland down and use that bump step back going baseline. That's one of an old-school Sam Cassell move. All right, catching, now he shoots 57% in the post, which is a very high percentage for a guard, in my opinion. All right, being able to use his body, be able to bump that defender off, just backs Garland down, uses his strength, And then you see how he backs him down, and Garland's just going to think that he's going to try to back him down in the paint, using that that right leg to get into him. Garland's weight's going back, and then creating that separation on the step